Friday, April 15. In the parable of Matthew 13, verses 44 to 46, the men found something of great value. Given the context, especially after Jesus told the third parable in verses 47 to 50, what they found was the truth that leads to eternal life, as opposed to eternal destruction in the furnace of fire. This is important because we live in an age where the idea of truth itself is considered old-fashioned at best or dangerous at worst. And unfortunately, this is a false idea that some Christians have brought into. Nevertheless, the message of these parables is that not only does truth exist, but that truth will make a difference for eternity in every human life. This shouldn't be surprising. The Bible is predicated on the idea of absolute truth. After all, Jesus said in John chapter 14, verse 6, "If that is not stating an absolute truth, what is?" Of course, when someone with as much knowledge of the truth as Paul could say that we know in part in 1 Corinthians 13:9, it's obvious that there's a lot we don't know. But his mere statement that we know in part implies that there's more truth to know, truth that literally makes a difference, either for eternal life or eternal death. Eternal life or eternal death? It doesn't get more absolute than that. And that brings us to our two discussion questions for this week. 1. What would it be like living in a world where everyone followed the principles found in the Sermon on the Mount? And 2. Jesus told the parable of the wise and foolish builders in Matthew 7, verses 24 and 27, in sight of the shores of the Sea of Galilee. In dry season, the difference in the appearance of the rock and the sand on the shores was almost imperceptible, and a builder could build his house on sand thinking it was rock. When the rains came, the sandy foundation was revealed and the house collapsed. Jesus compares those who hear his words but don't practice them to a sandy foundation. How do the storms of our own lives reveal whether our foundation is of rock or sand? How can we have a foundation that will keep us stable and firm even amid the worst of trials?